Lloyd Barnes, me, you, we're all here. Welcome to the family, Lloyd Barnes.
Thank you so much for having me in the family, Luke Dancy. It's good to be back in business.
We have got the applause coming in. People are tripping out. People are saying uh, we must have increased our budget somewhere because here it comes. We must raise our budget because Lloyd might require a lot of pizza, perhaps. So yeah.
I'm not even joking. I had pizza for dinner. Like, I'm not kidding.
Nice.
Jules phoned me and he was like, I was like, you think, are you busy? And I was like, no. Put my pizza down.
Nice. So here's what we're going to do today, guys. Lloyd is officially part of the Murphy's team now, so we wanted to bring him on. We're going to do a Q&A with you guys. In just a moment, I'm going to put the link out, and we are going to have you guys call in and actually join us here with Lloyd. That'll be you guys on the screen. I did some chatting with my tech team over the last week, and I believe we got this sorted from our Trick and Treat episode. So if you guys want to call in, I'll post the link on Facebook and YouTube in just a moment. You guys can call in. You can ask Lloyd a question, and then we'll let someone else pop on. So Lloyd, first of all, of course, welcome to the team. That goes without being said. But why don't you kind of let the guys know in a quick summary? I know you posted the video that we shared yesterday of you kind of introducing yourself and what you're going to be doing. But like, what is the Lloyd Barnes role here at Murphy's Magic? What are you going to be doing in a nutshell?
Pretty much what like most people know me for, creating magic, and it's more of like a super hands-on role. So I'll be coming up with ideas, working alongside the rest of the team, like Titanis and the guys, to bring them ideas. They're going to bring ideas to me, and we're all going to work together and just turn these ideas into like magic tricks. Because this is the whole reason why we're on this call, right? Is that people love magic tricks. They all want to perform the new, latest and greatest effects. So my role here is to come in and just try my best to come up with some amazing new magic, and then take those ideas, those creations with the team, and make them into physical products so that you can all get them in your hands and use them yourselves in the real world. And then the other like half of my job is working with you guys, the artists, and all the people around the world. Like, so many of you have amazing ideas, like way more creative than I'll ever be, but you just don't know where to start. You don't know how to take that idea for a color change that doesn't use a flat card, because I hate flat cards. It's a brand new idea, and they can make the gimmick, they can put it on Instagram, it looks incredible. Everyone wants to buy it, they want everyone to use it, and they have no idea where to begin. Well, then you come to Murphy's at murphysmagic.com/submit a trick. It comes to me and the team, and we will work with you to, if it's perfect, the idea already, we'll just help you like make these gimmicks or whatever it is you need, and make them into products, and make beautiful trailers, and make sure these effects and this work gets into the hands of magicians all over the world, or online, or in actual brick and mortar magic stores. Or some of you may have like incredible ideas, but they're not like, it might need a bit of like the bookends put on. So it might be like an incredible visual, but you may not know how to end clean to perform it over and over again. So this is what I'll come in, and we'll just say, hey, with my experience, this is what I would do, or this is a new way you can help make it more practical, and turn it from an idea into a piece of magic.
Yeah, and not only have you helped do that in the past with other people's work, but you also have your own creative touch. I mean, you're a very creative guy yourself, and hopefully that means we're going to see more Lloyd Barnes magic. And this time, some of it will be hitting magic shops, which I know was a big deal to you. You know, walking in there and seeing your name on something in a magic shop's a pretty cool thing. So hopefully we'll see some stuff.
It's so strange. Like I've been like, there's not many places around the world that I haven't dipped my toes in the sand.
Yeah.
Murphy's, as you know, as everyone knows, Murphy's is the team, the people that supply these magic shop with their magic. And I wasn't here, so my magic wasn't on the shelves of brick and mortar magic stores. And for me, it's such a shame for that to happen.
Sure.
So,
well, we've got our first caller calling in here. And guys on Facebook, I've pinned the link. If you want to make sure you copy and paste the link in your browser. And you guys on YouTube, I've also posted the link if you want to call in and ask Lloyd a question. Again, it helps to copy and paste the link in your browser just for technical reasons. So let me go ahead and bring in our first caller here. He is right here, and I've got Frankie Valley calling in. What's up, Frankie?
Hey, Luke. Hey, Lloyd. How you guys doing?
Yo,
Dude,
Frankie, what's up, man?
What up, buddy?
all right. So,
First of
I'm
all,
sure I've
congrats.
spoken to you on
Yeah.
Facebook before in the comments and stuff, right?
Yep. Yep. I messaged you yesterday
Let's put a
congratulating
face to the
you.
name, dude.
yeah. So,
First of all, congratulations. Oh, go ahead, Luke.
no, I was just gonna say, if you had a question for Lloyd, or if you had a comment or whatever, go ahead, man. This is your floor now, Frankie. So go for it.
Nice. First of all, congratulations, Lloyd. Welcome to Murphy's. And I just want to ask you a quick question because I know you do a bunch of creative work. What is sort of your inspiration when it comes to creativity? Like, how do you come up with your ideas?
Oh, first of all, thank you so much for the kind words, man. Like, it means so
Yeah.
much, and it's great to like put a face to your name. For the creative process, it's there's like a few different ways that it happens, and it depends on what the criteria is. So, if it's for a TV show or for something in particular that I've been asked to do, then the creative
Mm-hmm.
process is more problem solving. So if it's like, hey, we want to make this float and vanish inside a balloon when you burst it, and it's a giant balloon, then you got to problem solve and kind of like a sculptor and the potter. You need to like sort of sculpt away at the problems to find a solution. And then if it's for like my own magic, a lot of it, and it sounds really negative, a lot of the times I'll look at magic that's out there and I'll think what's wrong with it, and I'll think what don't I like about these tricks, or if I'd see like one of my favorite plots is like the visual ambitious rising card, and I look at so
Mm-hmm.
many of those versions out there, and I think about other creations. Like, is that how I think it should look? What would I improve if I could do it my own way? And sort of then try to imagine it without thinking of boundaries. So I try to forget about the method, forget about what exists in method, and try and play like a little image or film in my head. And I've even sometimes got like the idea for the trick and filmed it with my phone and edited it with like special effects on like Final Cut Pro is what I use to make something
Mm-hmm.
like for a color change, for example, how I would make a color change look, literally changing like the hue and saturation dials to see how I think a color change should look, and then try and work backwards mentally to create that image as close to natural looking as I think it should be. So yeah, answered in two parts, either like to pick away or to like really be constructive in the critique of what else exists out there and how I can make it better. Hope that sort of answers it a little
Mm-hmm.
bit.
What do you think,
Cool.
Frankie?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, Luke.
No worries.
Cool. All right. Well, we got some more people calling in. So, Frankie, thanks for the question and thanks for hanging out and the support as always, man. You're one of us, so we love you, man.
Yep. Love you
Cool,
too,
man.
guys.
Cool, man. See ya. All right, Mr. Lloyd.
Later.
Good answers there. Of course, I had a feeling creativity when it comes to you was going to pop up. That's kind of like a no-brainer, when it comes to you. So let me see who else we got out here.
About me.
Wait. What was that?
I have nothing else interesting about me, so.
Oh, whatever.
Pizza.
Oops, it looks like the thing that we were running there just shut down, so we're not gonna be able to have any more people call in, unfortunately, which is a shame because that was kind of fun. I'll try to open it back up. So the creativity thing, how long have you been, obviously when you start magic, it's one thing, but when you start creating magic, how long do you think it's been since you actually started creating and working on your own original magic? That's a question for me.
Okay. How long has it been? I don't know. I think I was like 14, 15 when I started coming up with tricks. And it wasn't even really coming up with tricks. It was, I'd always been into magic and things. My grandfather showed me stuff when I was 5. And that was like a creative trick. It wasn't a card trick or a coin trick. It was like a color change gimmick he made out of Post-it notes. I don't know if he made it, but it's what he showed me. So then I dipped in and out of magic. When I got to about 14, 15, I seen David Blaine on TV, and I wanted to do the tricks that I'd seen him do, right? And I remember going to the cinema, and he had an advert for Peugeot cars, and it was the first time I'd ever seen him. He did card through window and a snap change on there. I don't remember like going to school the next week. Like all I was thinking about was that. So from there, really, I was just more trying to recreate what I'd seen him do without being able to afford magic books and things like, hey, what's going on, guys? Oh, thank you so much, Fiddlin' Johnny. Baby's due in 20 days.
Wow. That's crazy. Here's a question, since the call system seems to have dropped. I mean, it's still in early beta, so I'm trying to get it rolling. Braden over on YouTube, though, is a regular viewer. He wants to know, do you have a favorite sleight, move, trick, one of those that you've made? Do you have a favorite? And how did you get the idea for it? And how did it actually... So we'll talk about that. So do you have a favorite thing you've created, whether it's a trick or a sleight, something like that?
Favorite? Oh, it depends. Like I have it's like categories of stuff. So my favorite like app or my favorite sleight. I'm really proud of this one move, and I don't think anyone remembers it. Maybe it's called a sand switch, and it's a way of switching a play. So you have the sandwiched cards revealed, and in the action of just turning over that sandwich card, it switches.
Mm-hmm.
I came up with that like 10, 12 years ago. Probably the thing I'm like most, it's the thing like in my head when I go back to it. Out of all the releases I've had, the bestsellers and things like that, it's like the one thing I'm most proud of, because I think like card magic is sort of sacred, and like I got really good feedback on it and things. And it's if like I could contribute anything to magic that would last a long time, it would probably be like a known or good card slide.
Cool.
So I think even though to most people they wouldn't remember it or think of it, it's the one thing I'm proud of, because I believe it looks just so organic and natural. Like it's the one thing I've come up with. I think is hard to top. Out of every.
Cool. All right. I want to get the elephant in the room out of the way. We can't talk without bringing up where you are now, where you came from, and without getting into specifics. When it comes to the magic industry, it's very small. Sean Gray asked over on YouTube, why did you decide to leave one magic company, and then go to another magic company? And I know you mentioned some of that in your video, your intro video, your I'm Here video. But if you don't mind summing that up quickly on why you decided to, take what you were doing and kind of change it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's the question I've been asked 1,000 times
Sure.
in the last like 24 hours. Yeah. It's basically, I think it's just about, the only constant is change, right? And I started at a different company 6 years ago and one day. Mm-hmm. And I was a completely different person then. Like this, from everything, I was like a wild child, party animal, constantly traveling the world, and my whole style of magic and the things that I did was totally different as well. So at the time when I started with the other company, I was a different magician. My art was different. The lifestyle I lived was different, right? And then like I met my wife almost 3 years ago, and I realized like it's time to grow up. Well, I wanted to change my priorities. I also found that the style of like magic that I would perform was completely different, and it didn't really suit the target audience of that company, and really it's just like, it was kind of like my first proper job. So even though like, working in the magic industry isn't a job, right? It's like doing what you love every day. But it was like my first proper job, and I assume, right? I'd imagine it kind of like, they say like having a first like girlfriend or first boyfriend, whoever you are.
Yep.
Like you can't fall in love with the love of your life until you've had like one like past relationship.
Sure, yeah.
And it's kind of like I didn't know what was going to suit me in the long term until I'd just experienced one other thing. Yep. That makes sense. So I think, getting married, having a baby on the way, not wanting to travel as much apart from like conventions and things. And plus, it was a big deal about wanting to see my magic in stores around the world. I see the world so much, walking into a store and not seeing my stuff, even though it'd be best selling and things, was just a bit of a letdown. And also the other thing is that I'm involved, and I always have been in touch with all forms of magic, whether it's TV, stage, parlor, micro, like even children's style magic. I'm always thinking about like as many different things.
Right.
And the place that I used to be in was just more catered to like one style, like beginner and street magic, right? Whereas this is all encompassing at Murphy's, and then the other thing is Murphy's gave me my start in my magic career.
Cool.
So you kind of have to like let the bird out the cage for it to fly back. You guys did that, and I returned home safely.
There you go. And we're glad again that you're here. And a lot of people out there are saying the same thing. Here's a good question from my buddy Benny over on Facebook. He says, does working for a company change the way you look at performing magic? So I guess meaning, does working for a magic company change the way you look at performing magic, or maybe even creating magic? That's actually something I'd like to know too.
Hey, Benny, what's going on? Benny's like a super creative guy, and I don't know if you've seen some of the stuff that he's shown, but every time he shows me a piece of magic, or everything that I've seen of Benny's has fooled me.
It's cool.
But yes, absolutely, because I don't perform a lot anyway, so I don't do gigs, because this is what I do, right? This is how I put food on my table.
Pizza.
So when
Lloyd, pizza.
I put pizza in my belly. I hope my baby's first meal is pizza. I just don't know how you can fit the slice in the bottle. He'll learn. But yeah. So when I do get to perform, like it normally follows a path of you start off with something that you know that you can do with your eyes closed, and it's quick. So like I have like my little set, and then I'll go into the experimental stuff, which is things that I'm working on, or things that that are going to be released, whether it's mine or other people's, and then I'll finish up with a trick that's usually in the closer. And sometimes the closer is the new thing, and sometimes it's not. And then for myself personally, I'll often go out to perform new stuff. So I'll purposefully go out of my way to perform the new magic that I'm working on. So does working at a magic company change the way I perform? Definitely, because, well, I don't know if it's about working. I'm always creating magic, but I definitely put new material in my set because of the stuff because of the projects that I'm working on, and I want to see if they work. And if they don't work, you don't see them.
Sure. Okay, cool. Quick question from Frank Flores. Does Lloyd have any new mentalism coming? Anything in the mentalism world that you've been dabbling
Flores,
in?
oh man. I've never spoken to Frank in real life, but we've messaged and spoken online a lot. Yes. So but this is the thing, actually. Like, when I say my style of magic has changed, so on like Instagram and socials, I'll put like purely like slow motion visual magic up. But a lot of the magic that I work on is mentalism, and I do have a thing that I'm working on. I'm super everything. When it's stuff like this and I'm working on it, I'm always super excited about it when I'm working on it, and it could be absolute trash. The minute I'm really excited about it, and it's an app. I'll give you a clue. There's an app, and the idea is that it sounds so generic, but it's really not, and it doesn't exist yet. The idea is that somebody can think of any playing card. Yo, Zach. Yo. Somebody can think of any playing card in the deck. They never, ever say it out loud. And you go through this tiny process, which like is not even noticed. It's like not a thing. And once that process is done, you absolutely 1,000,000%, 100%, 100%, what's up, Naman? 100% know exactly what that card is just by doing one little tiny. It's almost like the process is almost like, oh, check this out. Cool. Never mind. And that's it, done. And you know the exact card. That's the basic scope of it. And but once you understand how it works and how easy it is, well, how self-working it is, then you can like change it to pretty much reveal anything, or you can just know. So I'm being vague, and I don't mean to, because
I get it.
It's so tricky. You know what it's like, man? You've been there a million times. That you give away like. Some ideas they don't need much incredible method. It's just that tweak. Like okay, so I worked with Masuda on WoW, and on a new version of WoW, and all it was I changed it from playing cards to money, right? So the method wasn't mine. The method was his, and that already existed. So all I did was change the image inside the gimmick, right? But I kept that. Obviously, had to keep that secret, because if I let the cat out of the bag with that, then people, as they unfortunately do, would have just gone and made their own.
Yep.
And it's this kind of thing. Like, the method does exist, but it's like the framing of it and how it's supposed to just play out is super like interesting and blasé, I kind of want to say. So I'm just not giving much detail away until it's ready.
Totally get it, man. Totally get it. Someone that called in that unfortunately the system dropped out on me there. I'm gonna get his question in. It'll be a quickie, I'm sure. Well, actually, it might not be, knowing you. Nigel says, really important question. Do you have a favorite pizza topping? It's either a quick question or it's gonna be a long answer here.
Meat feast, straight up. It's pepperoni, ham, chicken, and beef. No barbecue sauce. Mozzarella cheese as a standard. Sometimes a little bit extra. I don't go for premium crust. I just like a normal thin and crispy base, and I like to split it up into like a 14-inch and then split that over like 3 days, sometimes one. If that answers your question.
Detailed. I appreciate the details. Very, very nice. Very nice. All right. This is a very good question coming in from Brandon. I'm going to bring it up. It's probably going to be a little large on the screen, so forgive me there. There it is. So Brandon says, I submitted an idea for a trick a while ago to Murphy's, but wasn't sure how to make it. Would that be something Lloyd would be able to help with? Also, would I have to submit it again? So specifics to submitting magic, which obviously you're on that team now that gets those submissions. If someone sends you an idea that they haven't made themselves or they have the concept, does the team help fill in the blanks? Why don't we get into some of those details when it comes to submissions?
Yes, 100%. It's what we're here for. You've come to the right place. So I'm not sure what happened in the past, while it was there. When you first submitted it, but send it over to me. You can send it over on Facebook through murphysmagic.com/submit a trick. You can email it to me, which is admin@lloydbarnes.co.uk. And yeah, like it depends on what you need to it. It could be that you've got the prototype and you need it, and it could be made out of cardboard, but then you need it made out of leather, and you have no idea who would do this.
Mm-hmm.
We can do that for you. It could be that you have an incredible method, but you don't know how to get into the effect, and you don't know how to get out of the effect. So all you have is an incredible gimmick, but you don't even know how you would perform with it. Well, we come in and we can just put the bookends on either side for you. Or if you don't, it doesn't have to be so black and white. We can guide you so that you come up with your own way of doing it. We just sort of give you the tools and the breadcrumbs along the way, so you can follow a path and create it yourself if that's what you want to do. But absolutely, I mean, this is what we're here to do. We are here to, whether you don't know how to market your effect, so you have everything but the trailer, whether you don't know you have an idea for an incredible electronic device, but you live in a wooden hut and you don't have anything to make electronic products with, or you have the majority of the effect made in your head, and you just don't know how to perform it. Some people are not confident performers. I am not a confident performer. I perform, but it's not like it's the reason I don't do gigs. I'm not that good at it. So I know a lot of magicians will take that effect, like bring it to Murphy's, and then we'll have someone like Javier go out and perform it and work out, okay, what does this need? What creases need ironing out? Because it's a fantastic trick, but it just needs some polishing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 100%. And like you said, that's what you guys are there for. I would say that's what we're there for, but that's not. You're in different departments, so that's what.
Luke, you are the first ever convention I went to ever was to see you lecture. I told you this every time I see you.
God.
Second convention 2007. I remember almost every part of your lecture, including the phone case the card case that turned into a phone. Yep. You did you need to get more of your stuff out there and seen by the world, because.
We're working on a couple things. I'll fill you in now that I can.
Oh yes, please do.
I don't know if George has told you anything, but yeah, I'm working on some stuff, some dancy mischief. Yeah.
Oh, you tease.
Another. Speaking of good old times, which we've been catching up on a lot of this stuff. Will Jones is out there. What's up, Will? Good to see you.
Oh, what's up, Will?
He says it's nice to see me, but it's also good to see you, Will. So here we go.
Will is the guy. So one of the piece of magic that I'm like most well known for around the world is a trick called Cipher, and it was basically Will's brainchild that brought me in, and G was brought in, and we just sort of all worked between us to flush it into a real thing. But it would not have been possible without Will. Straight up.
Yeah, very smart guy, but also just a really cool guy. Really, really good to see you, Will. Good to see you out there, man.
You play anything on.
Someone had a good question here about products going through companies. So Sanu, we'll just call him Sanu. I sell you my creation and you sell it, but what is my benefit? Please say the answer. So people sometimes get confused. Not only do we produce products for people, so let's say someone comes to the table with an idea that they want us to make, manufacture, package, and market, like you said, but people can also create their own effects, do all that work themselves, and will purchase it. But what do people see the value in on what we do for someone that's new to the game? When we create products, or when we take your creation, manufacture it, push it out the door, you were just tiptoeing around it, but it's not just putting out your trick. There's a lot more that comes with that when you work with us, right?
Yeah, I always compare it to like the music business, right?
Yeah.
If you can find a good singer like Ed Sheeran, right? Everyone knows Ed Sheeran. He was a guy with a guitar playing in bars, and then I'm not sure what his story is, but the general story is a music company will find them and they'll do everything. They'll market them, they'll make their album, they'll tour, they'll help them tour, get their name out there around the world, and it's kind of the same process with Murphy's, that you bring us your trick, or you sell your trick to us, and then we take it from a trick, which is something like you go and do at the bar with friends, and we turn that into an actual physical product that you can go and pick up off the shelves with thousands of units around the world and see magicians all over the globe performing your trick in their hands. And aside from all that, the benefit, obviously you earn money from it, which is a massive bonus. But I always thought the bigger thing was you get your name out there, and if you have good magic, you build your brand based on like the quality of your creations. And for me, the goal was always to, like, when I first started creating and selling magic, I didn't care anything about the monetary side of it. It was all about getting into the magic business, the magic realm, full time. So I'm not a very good performer, so I couldn't go out and do gigs, or I didn't want to go out and do gigs. So I wasn't going to earn money to put food on the table that way. Mm-hmm. I just liked creating magic tricks and making videos for the internet. So I thought, well, the best way of doing it would be to build my own personal brand. And if I was good enough, if my magic was good enough, then you would tell me by keeping me in the industry. Not like you, Luke. I mean, like, as in, all my fans out there would tell me, hey, this is good, or this is bad, or you are good, you are bad, or hey, you can maybe create, maybe you can't. So I thought that for me, the biggest benefit was putting myself out there, whether to be, whipped or had thrown roses at. And it was like a litmus test. So for me, aside from monetary gain, it's the brand building and seeing then if you can make it in the magic world, and from there going off and doing lectures all over the globe and being part of conventions and making this your life. That's what I see the benefit as.
There you go. Yeah, it's out there, but it doesn't come easy. And I always try to emphasize that. People think because it's fun, and it can be fun, that it's easy. But just because it's a fun thing and an exciting thing to do doesn't mean that it's an easy thing to do. And I'm not trying to be pessimistic. I'm just trying to be a realist here, trying to be as real as I can. So, yeah.
Dude, you've been there. You've created magic for TV, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, loads of seasons of TV, and everyone who creates magic thinks that is the pinnacle dream job. But think about the stresses you run into on problem solving, last minute things. Yep. Like you've got to attest to how difficult even like the most what's it called, the job that everyone wants to do, even that comes with massive downsides like sleepless nights, headaches, and
yep, true that.
It's difficult.
Here's a simple question for you, because it's like an everyday carry type of deal here. So Scott wants to know over on Facebook, what's in your pockets, aka your everyday carry? Do you have magic stuff that's just on you on the daily that you don't even think about, other than your phone? Because I know you mentioned apps. Other than your
phone. No.
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay. Easy.
I don't. Oh, I used to do this thing, and I've just sort of stuck with it, where so people would ask me how could they get more creative, and I'd say don't go to a gig and do this, but next time you're out with friends, family, whatever, and the subject of, I just poked myself in the knee with this pin. They ask you to show some magic, or you want to just show magic, so you say, let me show you some magic. I did this thing for years where it would come up in conversation. It was important that they would ask me, hey, can you show some magic? And I'd say, yeah. And I'd just like sort of stand there, and they'd say, okay, what are you going to do? And I'd say, well, hand me anything. And so they'd hand me something, and I'd say, what do you want me to do with this? Do you want me to make it vanish, change, float? And it sounds ridiculous, and it sounds like I'm making this like impossible.
Here you are. I lost you for a second.
Yeah, I'm setting myself this gauntlet, which is almost impossible. But really, it wouldn't be that. It would be that somebody would hand you like a coin, and you say, do you want me to make it vanish, change? And you'd act like you're going out. And they would only say one of two things, really. And if they said something ridiculous, like, oh, make it turn into a unicorn, then you can just ad-lib and jazz for it. But the core concept was that it would never really be too many different things, and you could always just jazz from it. And for me, the reaction you'd get from doing stuff like that would be so much better, not so much better, but just as good as if I carried a whole set on me. And I used to tell people, go off and do this to be more creative, just to get you to think on your feet, right? To get like to start living off your wits. And then I put up with stuff which I never think of, and some of it's become like full-time pieces, like in my walk around stuff, just because I was like on the spur, right? I was put on the moment. But I try and travel as light as possible, so nothing really like I can get coins, straws, bills, single cards. Like even like doing like angle Z with a beer mat doesn't need anything.
True.
I kind of feel like if you do magic, you should be prepared at all times. So
that's very true. Yeah, I mean that's very true.
If you want to call yourself a magician, right?
Yeah.
There's people that do magic tricks and there's magicians, and I try to lean into the magician category as much as I can.
This isn't necessarily a question for you. It's just a comment. I'm glad to hear that some of the people from last week's, I did a trick and treat special. I was hooking people up with magic. So Manny out there, he got his prize in the mail. It arrived and he's already been using it to freaks people out. So I'm glad to hear you're enjoying Blankrupt over there, Manny. That's good stuff, man. Enjoy. Cool.
Hell yeah.
And that's the fun thing, Lloyd. You know, I know your job is more on the product side, but hopefully from time to time we can pop up and team up like this because we have a beautiful community of people out there. We do fun giveaways and exciting things all the time for those people. So I'm sure over time you'll get to know some of these people as well because they're definitely excited to see you. So.
Man, you know me. I just love people. I love chatting and making friends. So keep me on the screen.
Johnny B's got a nice comment from you over on Facebook. He says, just pop on and say, hello, Lloyd, you're the man. You're so smart, creative. Murphy said the jackpot was signing you. Duh.
I think he's talking about the wrong Lloyd. I'm the chubby one that snores when I sleep. Well, John, I know I seen a congratulations message in my inbox of John. It's just really like buried right now. I will get back to you, I promise. But John's saying that I'm creative. I'm not sure if you guys have followed John Bing on Facebook and Instagram. Literally hidden genius. Like John, the guy, I see what John's strength seems to be is taking existing tricks that are out there and just like sprinkling steroids on them. Always so creative, so good. Go and actually follow John Bing if you guys get a chance.
The other cool thing is John Bing has a kick-ass trick. You might have seen it at Blackpool, the one that Eric, aka Snake, was doing with the boxes that multiply visibly.
Oh yes,
triple helix.
That's John.
That's John Bing. Yeah, same guy. I think Lloyd froze. Is he back? Is he back?
Sorry.
Oh, there you are.
Sorry, that multiplying box trick is John.
That's John Bing. Yeah, it's coming out soon from Murphy's. We're going to be distributing that in the near future. So yes, that is triple helix is what it's called.
Oh my good lord.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, good stuff. So you're right. He's a smart guy.
Yeah. Wow. I did not know that. Wow.
Yeah.
That was like the talk of Blackpool.
Yeah, man. That was like the talk. Everyone was like, you got to see the card box trick. You got to see the box trick. Yeah, that was cool. Zach's reaching here. He says, Lloyd, when you coming to get a new tattoo? Maybe a Murphy's logo. Okay.
Wait, Zach, where can I come and get this tattoo? Are you local? Can I go to you? Maybe I might get a Murphy's logo.
In it for life, baby. In it for life.
Yeah, I'll get it tagged on my forehead.
Thanks for the love, Manny. We love you too, buddy. All you guys, the support you guys give us every week when we bring you the new magic and all the stuff. You guys are awesome. We see you. And if you have questions, for us, never be shy. We're always out there. And we're there to help. So let us know if we can help you. We'll take a couple more quick questions, and then I'm going to wrap things up. I told Lloyd about 30, 45 minutes. I know he also has a job to do with us, so I don't want to keep him too long.
I'm actually off for the day, so I don't mind.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm in the UK.
That's right. You're 7 hours ahead until we get to daylight savings over here. So, yeah.
When is that?
This Saturday on Halloween, actually. Halloween night, we do daylight savings. So we catch up with you then. And guys, I'm sorry that the call-in thing didn't work today. It is a beta in-work thing that they're working on. So we got one caller in today. We'll do more live Q&A stuff. You guys can call in. I'm excited to get that going. Trust me. Let's see here. Here's a good question. Manny, the guy that's been blowing us up over here, says, how do you deal with getting caught doing magic and how do you recover? So happens to all of us, but how do you get out of it? I guess that's the question here.
Oh, well, definitely happens.
Yeah.
all right. So most things I do in my like my set that never changes, except if it's new stuff. Most things I do, I tend to have multiple outs for the method.
Mhm.
So whether it's ambitious card and someone catches you doing a double, well then the next phase I'll make sure there's no double. You know what I mean? I have a bunch of stuff with like crazy man's handcuffs. But if someone thinks that I'm doing something with like really quick fast fingers, then I have a version of it which does have which is in their hands, not even finger work. So I try to like future proof myself by doing this, and then uh, unless I really mess up and I expose it myself, normally you get a heckler that will try to expose it, and there's two ways of doing it. I don't perform. I don't go up to people and ask them to show. Can I show them magic? People, I'll bring up in conversation. This is something Greg Wilson talks about. He'll say, "I'm a magician. What do you do?" And they'll say, "I'm a banker." And then you know the next question will be, "Can you show me some magic?" Right?
Yep.
And I've lived off that for so long. It's such a genius concept from Greg, and I do the same thing. And I'll allow it to come up in conversation. That I do. Hey Ryan, what's going on, brother? Oh, thank you so much, man. Ryan's the man. So I've got a really blocked nose because it's winter time. But yeah, I'll basically get to the point where people ask me to do magic, and if they're doing that, they're kind of like asking you for a favor. This is how I've always felt it. So Greg talks about it. He must like experience the same feelings I do. He talks about it as a way to open up and just start doing tricks. I use it to not get heckled. I'm kind of like, if they go, please, so you're like, oh, I don't know, and then once you do magic, it almost feels like you're giving them a gift, or because they really want to see it. It's almost like asking someone to sing you a song and then critiquing their singing. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, sing me a song, please. I really want to hear your music. And then they sing and you go, that's terrible. You know what I mean? You just don't get it. So I very rarely get heckled. And hecklers usually are the people who try to expose the tricks. So unless I like just flat out drop the coin or break the gimmick, and you know, in which case it's kind of like I just kind of just like grit my teeth and be like, well, I was just practicing that one. Or like not all tricks work, or just have a trick which is so good it can only be magic. I always think of Out of This World as like the best trick ever because there's pretty much no explaining that for a layman. But yeah, other than that, just try and get to the stage where your people you're performing for feel like you're giving them a gift if you can. I think, you know, in gigs it's not the same thing. But yeah, future proof your methods and make it feel like you're doing them a favor.
Right on, man. All right. Let's see. Got a lot of love out here for you. I want to give you another little bit here. Kyle out there saying, awesome addition to the team.
What's going on? It was in Blackpool this year. I was so drunk. I remember like sitting in a dark corner with him, and he was showing me. He was showing me his effects. I won't say what they were. They were just like blowing my mind. But I was at the stage where I was so drunk, it was like I didn't know where reality started and finished. It was just the best. So go and check out Kyle's stuff, guys.
All right. How about one or two more questions? You good?
Dude, I could go for the next 10 hours.
Let's see. Here's a. Well, no, I'm not going to ask you that.
Oh, kick my laptop. Good.
Let's see here. More love, Lazarus Benson. He's a regular. Basically, he also agrees with doing stuff on the spot and also welcoming you to the Murphy's team. So that's cool too.
Oh, thanks. I know Lazarus well, man. I used to like Skype with him back and forth.
That's
and,
right.
Like,
I totally forgot about that. Yeah, you know him. Duh.
Yeah. Guy's such a beast magician. He's got big plans for the future.
And we have big plans with you. Duh.
Feed me up and fill me full of helium and send me to the moon.
Bam. Actually, here's a quick question for you from me, and we won't have to go too long on it. But with all things going on in the world, you know, the virus and things, there's an uptick. What's the entertainment industry looking like over there? And I know that's not relevant to your job or anything, but as magicians, obviously, we're, you know, all in the entertainment industry. On your side of the pond, what are things looking like right now with live entertainment? Because in Vegas, Copperfield's starting to perform again. November the 6th is his first show. So I don't know if it's going to happen. We'll see. But what about over there? What's going on entertainment-wise in your neck of the woods?
I think it looks pretty bad, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
Like the government are helping. They've helped people who are in the entertainment, like people who do gigs, musicians, magicians mainly, who do performing gigs. They've given them like a certain amount of grants, so like a stimulus check in the US, I believe. Kind of like they give them like 2 so far big chunks of money, or like 80% of what they should have earned in that same period. And then depending on how they've set themselves up, like if you're a performer and you're a company and then you employ yourself, if you've done that for like 2 years, I think the government will pay you like a wage which you would have earned, or almost what you would have earned. And people who have set themselves up correctly have sort of been able to carry on and make do. Mike, what's going on, man? Thank you so much. I appreciate it, dude. So the people that like set themselves up and have been doing magic for a long time as like a limited business company and then it's employed themselves have been sort of able to survive a little bit. But I think as on the whole, is people have really struggled. Basically, most magicians' gigs were just completely cancelled. All their diaries, Blackpool, going on, Danny. All their diaries completely wiped out. And then the government came out the other day and said that people, because of COVID in the UK and the way the country have handled it was just so terrible, that people in the arts should probably whiskey or tequila. It has to be whiskey, Manny, because tequila, I have this like thing. If I drink tequila, it's like someone's got cling film over my mouth, and I instantly vomit. That's not even a joke. I'm like, bleh! And it's like, so it's got to be whiskey. The government said that
I had to squeeze it in. I mean, I had to get something good during this unfortunate
this
stuff.
Boring. So, long story cut short, the government said that if you're in the entertainment field, you should retrain.
Yeah.
And there's like a whole like load of memes going around, but they genuinely put posters up saying like this, showed like a ballerina, and it's like, hey, this ballerina should retrain to become, I don't know, like a plumber. Applause energy. Thanks, the skull inside. Yeah, a ballerina should retrain as like a plumber or something, and I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes total sense.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's just ridiculous. So everyone's really suffering, and I don't know how well people are. It's the British public in this country. I don't think they really react to virtual shows.
Yeah.
I was talking to Rennie Connor, a friend of mine. I think he's down in Florida, and he was saying he's okay because like he's been doing some virtual shows lately. I just don't think it's the same in the UK. So yeah, not good. Not good at all. I don't know what. Yeah. I don't see it before Christmas.
One more question here about product stuff, and someone else will go out on this. So I've got one question, then I have a last thing that we'll go out on.
Okay.
I think his name is Yas. Forgive me if I'm not pronouncing that right. Are you putting out any? What's that? Joss?
Jazz Binder.
Okay.
I think she's British. If it's the same Jazz I'm thinking of from London.
Okay. Timeline wise, obviously you have a lot of magic ideas, creativity. Is there anything in the upcoming near future with you that you're putting anything out that you can not give away, but do we have a date on something coming out that we might know about now?
Yes, absolutely.
Cool.
Well, first of all, what's going on, Jazz? I haven't seen for ages. I think it was the Session Convention. I can't see if it's Jazz or not because there's no profile photo.
Yeah.
That's why it's so big. I hope you're good, though. Anything with my... Yes, there's quite a few things. So my first start in the magic industry was the Moonshine Playing Cards. Murphy's, you guys like gave me my first... You guys paid to have the first run done and help them sell out worldwide. I can tease... I mean, it's not even a tease. There are a new version of Moonshines coming out, multiple versions, and they've got some pretty awesome features in them. And I don't want to spoil too much, but there may be some sort of crazy treasure hunt built into them, which is cool. And then I brought, aside from the app that I spoke about, which I don't know what the turnaround on that is because for the first time ever, I'm making it myself. So it could be terrible. I'm no Mark Kirstein. Aside from that, there's one thing that I'm really excited about, and I've taken a classic of magic that everyone knows, a classic magic trick, I want to say, because that helps define it down a bit. I made it super current, super organic, and the turnaround on that, I would say, I want to say about maybe 60 days.
Oh, nice. That's not too bad at all. All right, cool. I have one last thing I want to ask you, and then I'll let you get out of here. This one is from Daniel Martin. It'll sum up everything pretty well.
Okay.
What was your mission statement to Murphy's Magic? So obviously, details, you don't have to tell everyone what you said as far as that. But when it comes to Murphy's, what is your mission? What is the loin? I know we've talked about it a little bit here and there with what you're going to be doing. but as a magician, as what you do, what is your mission statement to the community in what you're doing now?
First of all, if that's the Daniel Martin, I think it is. We had dinner in New York. Daniel's an incredible performer, and his routine, the Invisible Man routine, I think, I don't want to say, I know I don't want to say where it is for people to see it, because I know like it's one of those things you've got to see live. It's just incredible. We had dinner with Darren Brown in New York after the show, and just what a lovely man. And yeah, that effect alone, you could live the whole your career off. It's incredible. What's my mission statement to Murphy's Magic? Well, I'm not sure what the term really means. In the UK, we don't really say a mission statement. Is that like what's your pledge, or is that like?
It's not necessarily your pledge. Like like when you sell yourself to a company, they want to know kind of like,
sell me this pen.
Yeah, like, so you're going to be working with us. What do you want to offer? What can the community expect from you? I guess, like, what can they expect, and what are you also excited about? Why don't we put it that way? So what can people expect from you, and what things are you excited about making this move and joining our team?
Okay. Oh God, this is one of those questions on an interview that like it makes you sound arrogant when you answer it. It's like, hey, let me say.
Well, I'll give you a quick question to think about why you're. This is real quick, and you can think about it while I'm asking this one. Foolus, yes or no for you?
I've helped with some things on Foolus that have gone on to fool them, but absolutely never for me.
Okay.
I have no interest in having anyone like know that I do magic outside of magicians. Really,
okay.
To be honest, I block people from my hometown on Instagram. That's a good question. So yes, my mission statement. Basically, I went to Murphy's and I was like, hey guys, look, I love you. Magic is in my blood. All I do is create magic and film magic and play magic all the time, and I want to do it and put food on my table and help raise my baby with it. So look, I've created a bunch of magic in the past, and it seems to be that people like my stuff. And if you guys want to, I would love to spend more time working with you and the team. and I hope I could just help out. And then basically it's just whatever I can do in terms of like, I know that the past week alone I've been helping the guys with crediting and research on effects, showing them my ideas, and they've actually helped me with my ideas too. So just kind of like helping continue to push like the boundaries of new modern magic creations and get them to the masses.
Cool. And what do you think excites you the most about all of this? That's the last thing we'll wrap this up on. What do you think is like the thing that you're like, I can't wait for this, or this part excites me the most?
It's a real hard one. Like if I was 10 years younger, I would have answered this differently. But I think it's like the Murphy's family, man.
Yeah.
It's you guys, like from day, like you first lecturer I ever went to go and see specifically was you. We've known each other for years, like Titanus, Kathy, Michelle, George, everyone, like you guys gave me my start in magic, and it's all I'm going to be doing is magic. So I may as well do it with a team of people that I love, and that loves me back. I hope, like you guys say, I may as well do it with like my family in magic than just do it on my own. So I would love to say, hey, I'm really excited about this new app. It's going to change the world, and I am excited about stuff like that. But really, I'm just excited about the normal of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, I get it. As someone that's going to be a dad very soon, and a lot of people are asking, just how excited are you? Like that's a big deal, life changing for sure. But you're joining the dads club now, so welcome to the club. There you go.
That's my first rodeo, son.
There you go, man. Welcome to the club.
I'm so excited. I could steal ice cream from a pensioner.
All right, Lloyd. Well, I'm gonna look for one little thing so we can go out and style here. I want to say thank you for joining us. I'm gonna pop back at his shot real quick just to put up the link one more time. If you guys do want to submit your magic tricks to us, your ideas, that is the link on the screen right below Mr. Lloyd Barnes right there. Submit a trick. Join us. Join our team by putting out your magic with us. You can join us too that way. And fill out the forms and all that, and we will take good care of you. So we're going to get out of here.
As I say, submit a trick, even if you just want it as an excuse, so we can just jump on Skype and have a jam.
There you go. All right, that's good. All right, cool. Well, we're going to get out of here in style. I'm going to bring up my 80s tunes and give you guys some love on the way out. So Lloyd, thank you and welcome again to the team. We're all very excited. And if you guys haven't yet, throw Lloyd some love in the chat. We'll catch you guys later. See you guys. Get this going. How we do around here, baby.
Thanks, Daddy. Like just dancing out. Daddy, what's up, dear? We're at the elevator. Oh wait, I should go down. Can't do it. Oh, I broke my shit. Thanks, Brayden. Thanks, Daddy. Bye, Raphael. I'm gonna keep dancing. I think we should fade. We do a fade. Bye, Naman. We fade. Blackness.
Yep.
Get some smoke. Smoke for the.
All right, here we go. We're out of here, boys.
I feel like now that you're telling me to dance, I don't want to dance.